Foreword by Sam Falsafi. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Buddha. How does a man living in today's modern world set about on his personal discovery of truth? It begins with a journey. So does that mean he needs to look around him to find someone who will guide him, who will instruct him, who will carry him towards God and towards truth? No. This man seeking truth is looking for someone who can protect him against the odds, which are bound to be on the path of unknown. And the path is not going to be located around him. It's through him that he will find the truth that he seeks. But how does he begin this search for internal truth? By hunting for a guru, a teacher, a coach to help him find that? No. But then again, yes. This teacher is not a man that resides outside, but inside of us all. This coach is someone who lives by a code, a man that declares, I will live by a code through the last breaths of my life. And yet, the lead trainer for Warrior Week inside of Wake Up Warrior program, I see men come through each session lost. They have been searching for this person, a teacher, a mentor, anyone who could lead them on this journey towards truth, only to come up short in what it means to live by the code because of the stories that they tell, that someone else has the answers that they are seeking in their mind, that they just have to pay their way to receive it. But the code isn't something that you can purchase or be obtained from someone else. You cannot buy your way to the truth. And yet there is a sense of urgency inherently built into us all that becomes triggered from what we have been taught regarding money, which is we need to earn it and then secure it while gaining social recognition as well as prestige. We are taught to believe that this will lead to financial security and happiness. So then why are there so many unhappy businessmen with strong financial security that I continue to see? They aren't asking the right questions. Within my book titled Every Man a Leader, we approach a 21-day challenge through one's own pit experience, sharing warrior witnesses that could relate to what life feels like when completely devoid of the code. Inside of my Warrior Week, Parables of the Pit podcast, which is found at www.warriorweeknow.com, in which one warrior after another share their own individual experiences and what it means to live by a code. I admit, I struggled to find the right example to share inside of this book until I made a realization. The code is an individual journey for each person willing to discover truth. So I have provided the resources in which you can learn from others through the Warrior Week podcast and Every Man a Leader book. But it's up to you to discover which warrior witness resonates the most with you. This journey for the code will take time. In fact, it will take multiple lifetimes in which the man that once was dies as the new, more refined version learns for himself the value and importance of having the code as a non-negotiable part of his life. Like them, you are off to the right start looking for ways to bring security into your life. But this security that I'm talking about isn't financial. If you were to ask instead, but what of my psychological security? Now we're getting somewhere. You're delving deeper into who and what it means to be you. You become aware of what it is that motivates you, turns you on, turns you off, find attractive, repulsive, and fearful. And that last one is the biggest contributing factor that holds us all back. Fear of what you might discover within yourself. Believing this internal exploration will be a journey into the unknown is what has held you back. You're looking for solutions from others, when the only man that will truly give you the answers you seek is yourself. And yet you'd sooner turn to those that have shown financial success as the creators of this truth, believing that if you can only pattern your life after them, you will be able to also experience security in everything else in life. And yet, you have known economic and possibly even political security. Therefore, it is your urge for security that made you look for a teacher in the first place. Inside of this book, you will discover that after all that searching around you, the greatest part of the journey will be what you discover from the code, which can only be found within yourself. So do you even know how you would be able to take this internal journey? Does it look more like an impossible mission to the unknown? What's holding you back? Fear and lies. Fear will hold you back from discoveries on that journey into the unknown, while lies will prevent you from discovering the facts that bring them freedom. But let me tell you now, my brother, that the lies you tell yourself cannot live so long as you live by a code and conduct yourself with a sense of urgency towards a process of discovery. Until then, fear will continue to create its own inhibitions, developing a chronic condition. A malforming root of many ills exists in society today. If you allow it to, fear will create its own inhibitions and convince you of the urgent need to form reservations while donning a mask to proudly wear that you have your shit all figured out. But all that is a way of creating false security in life, empty and hollow. Out of fear, we create masks, which are proudly and carefully put on every relationship we hold with others. Who is fearing and who is witnessing the fear? On one hand, you want to inquire to find out what the ultimate truth is. And on the other hand, you want to be secure, thinking that the lies you formed as a wall will protect you. When the reality is that these bricks of lies and fears have isolated you from everyone. And inquiry that brings in fear is no inquiry at all. To inquire means that, like the collapse of the Berlin Wall, you see there is another way than to build from a place of fear. Living by a code means that you're willing to let it be as you operate from a place of courage instead of fear. The code gives you courage to be vulnerable in life, with the intensity and the urge to find out what truth is, to learn what life is. Until that urge has been able to be melted away, all fear will wither away, all reservations. Discovering your personal truth cannot take place. See, the journey that a man must take in order to live by a code requires a personal discovery in order to make sense of the intellectual acquisition of theories and ideas, and that can only be achieved with courage. Freedom and enlightenment are not the game of cowards, but of kings. And here at Wake Up Warrior, operating as elite kings is the only operation we accept. Every man that will be king has to find out for himself whether he is afraid of what he is going to find out within inside himself. Learning how to navigate through his own personal blueprints, through calculated results and daily actions, bring assurance that each step he is taking towards living by the code is measuring progress towards becoming his own teacher, rather than to rely on others to train him how they want him to act. And so, finding out what the truth is inside of yourself, what freedom is, and simultaneously the desire to be secure, forms protection much stronger than any wall built from fears and lies that could possibly accomplish. It becomes a resolution that modern men like you and me are seeking. You'll be able to state that with complete confidence, regardless of your religious background, I am that I am. You are nothing that anyone else has defined, but an entity of your own design. This is how modern warfare is conducted today in the world. Your resolution is the modern weapon to be used in business warfare of men today. This is your individual combat created through living by a code. Fear will not be able to penetrate the armor you have placed around your mind when it is continually operating from a place of truth. Without the code, fear will make you accept the authority of another man instead of doctrine you have created for your own personal conduct. Because this moment a man has accepted this authority, discovery comes to an end. Like personal truth, neither inquiry nor freedom can be borrowed. Discovery is your freedom to inquire, with courage guiding you out of the land of liars with truth as your weapon. As you read this book on living by a code, your inquiry within yourself and personal discovery will give you the authority you have been desiring to seek from no one else but yourself. To seek the truth from you, to seek the witness from you, to seek a greater version from you, to seek he who has been seeking you. You will discover the most powerful man in your life, you. So ask yourself, is it relevant to be reading this book? You can find your why out of fear of losing that which you love the most, like your family, or you can find your why out of desire. What do you want? What is your dream? And out of that space, what is the relevancy between what you see in the future that comes from this place of desire to become a great version of yourself? I give you the code. Sam Falsafi, lead trainer, Wake Up Warrior.